from ERICSSON Stadium in Auckland. It's the Warriors and the Bulldogs.
A gorgeous Sunday afternoon in the city of Sails, with one team seeking redemption, the other looking to back it up from last weekend. Good afternoon and a warm welcome from ERICSSON Stadium in Auckland. It's the Warriors up against the Bulldogs in round 8 of the 2006 Telstra Premiership. Quite a healthy crowd here for this one today, perhaps no doubt in part thanks to the presence of Sonny Bill Williams, although that man incidentally is not playing today. We'll come to that shortly. Ruben Wiki is in fact a spectator for this one. As we move inside the Bulldogs dressing room, and Steve Folkes looking to rev up his team after that 26-point drubbing by Manly last weekend. This is how they shape up. Emilio is out injured. Sonny Bill Williams into the centres in 17 today. The halves, Maitua, stood down for disciplinary reasons. Holsworth moves into pivot. The new halfback is debutant Ben Roberts, and Cameron Phelps comes onto the bench. The coach is Steve Folkes.
The Bulldogs always enjoy their trip over here, crossing the Tasman. Had some great results and come away with the chocolates the last 2 times they've been here. The Warriors as well look forward to the Bulldogs' visit. The bench for the Bulldogs, just what impact will they have today? I can remember the Bulldogs bench of Asatasi, Sonny Bill Williams, Maitua and one Jonathan Thurston. Boy, what a team they were when they won the premiership that year. This year it's different. They still look forward to their bench here though.
Now we have a look at the Warriors card, and as I say, Ruben Wiki, the notable absentee. He has suffered a hamstring problem, hence his scratching. Tuamavavi is the replacement up front. Michael Luck moves into the starting 13. Guttenbeil goes back to the bench, and Mannering is with him. His first appearance for the Warriors in 2006. The coach, Ivan Cleary.
And so important to the Warriors last week was a metres gained in the middle of the football field. Without Ruben Wiki, that now falls upon the shoulders of Steve Price to continue doing what he has done so well for 5 weeks so far this year. But also look to the bench. No front row there to play in the rotation, so look some of the back rows to step up. But all the attraction, all the interest sits around the number 17, Sonny Bill, playing in the centres this afternoon. Expect a big, wide game. The offload's the second phase play.
Hazem El Masri, he in fact was the difference last time the Dogs came to town. It was 4 tries apiece. Part of a star-studded lineup for the Canterbury club, which includes, of course, this man, Willie Mason.
Wouldn't you like to be playing outside the likes of Sonny Bill Williams and even Mason O'Mealy up front, the go-forward, Asatasi? But if it's Hazem El Masri outside your centre and it's Sonny Bill Williams, well, what a treat. One of the biggest centres, I believe, in rugby league, McCracken. Well, he was a big Bulldog centre, but I can't think of any too bigger.
And when we talk about the outside game or the wide game, look to the likes of Missy Talapapa for the Warriors. He made his debut last week. He's certainly going to be tested this afternoon.
Here comes Steve Price and the Warriors, keeping in mind it's a very big occasion for the Warriors captain. His first ever game, competition game that is, against his old club. He came to Belmore as a boy, he left as a man. 222 games in the blue and white, today up against some former teammates.
Well known in the Bulldogs rank, Pricey for sure, and they'll love to exchange pleasantries, shall I say, early on. Has tutored someone like Mark O'Mealy, and O'Mealy now gets a chance to show him what he's learned. And
it was noticeable that when Stephen Price ran through the Bulldogs to take their position at the far end of the football field, not even a glance, not even a word muttered. Straight down the other end. Louis Anderson, expect him to play strong on the edge again this afternoon. But the big questions will be thrown at the wingmen to make some decisions defensively as to whether or not to come in or stay out. Second phase play, the answer for the Dogs.
Gavin Badger in his 10th game in the big time as our referee. Time on, he says. We are underway. NRL Sunday, the first instalment, and it's a great start for the visitors. Although perhaps they had a few nervous Nellies with that kickoff, it just got there, and we will have a scrum to get us underway in the opening 20 seconds.
Well, smart play this, kicks it right into the sun. Talapapa is facing into the sun, puts his eyes up with it, and just lets it go.
So a dream start perhaps here for the Bulldogs. Here they go, perhaps possession a lot earlier than they'd expected. Sonny Bill Williams goes to ground. Good numbers last week in a losing side against the Sea Eagles. Grimaldi, he hits it up, 15 metres out. In fact, the Bulldogs now will go through their big men, and it's Asatasi. So an early test here for the Warriors. Ryan, he goes to ground, the captain. 8 metres out. 60 seconds gone. The Bulldogs work the blind side, but they cough it up. Warriors come away with it. Talapapa, the rookie wingman, he comes up with the pill.
And that's perhaps what was so pleasing last week with the debutant Talapapa, young, second game into the big league and not afraid. He starts with a bit of a shocker, but makes redemption real quick.
So I dare say Ivan Cleary would be perhaps a little more relaxed now after what he saw from the get-go here this afternoon. Price hits it up against the club that he used to call home, and it's a pretty good carry too, just quietly. He got it up to halfway, and a handy applause from the crowd that's turned out here on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Warriors, 5 metres, Bulldogs side of halfway, and Fiend with a haircut or a hairstyle and a big hit to boot. Massive collision between Patton and Fiend, and the latter is still on the turf here at ERICSSON, red hair and all. Well, you can't miss him. And check this out. Well, Luke Patton was obviously committed.
Well, forget about commitment there, Cosso. The most important thing you've got there is the use of the elbow coming into contact with the head. And perhaps what surprised me was the fact that Badger, the man in the middle, man in charge this afternoon, was quite prepared to play on until it was quite obvious that Fiend was in trouble.
Well, it's a collision sport, and he gets absolutely flattened. What about the haircut? I don't mean to be disrespectful, but he looks like a possum, and he just gets flattened here by Patton. Now, was Patton playing at the football? I don't think he was. He was more playing for the man, so let's listen in.
Okay, there's contact high, tackles on report, and we're going to have a penalty.
There you go, tackle on report. Wasn't playing at the football, comes in, tries a shoulder charge, and the contact point of where he cleans up Fiend will be interesting. I believe they'll take 2 points here.
They will. Here's the replay, and it was certainly Nathan Fiend copping it full bore from the man they called the General, so they will check this out on Monday morning at league headquarters, and for the time being, a chance for the Warriors to get us underway on the scoreboard.
Now, Ropo, you're a man of fashion. Tell me about this haircut, please.
Well, there's obviously an attempt at being a possum. So there you go. He's looking sharp. He's a warrior.
Well, most possums are asleep during the day, of course. He was almost put to sleep, thanks to General Patton.
You country people, you know it all when it comes to the animals.
Well, he seems to have recovered his faculties. And Tony Martin has a shot at goal here. Perfect last week, of course, 9 from 9. No problems here today with his first shot. 3 gone at ERICSSON, Sunday football, and it's the Warriors leading the Bulldogs at 2 points to 0.
And the most important thing for the Warriors here this afternoon is improvement. They showed a couple, 3 odd weeks ago up against the Tigers. They got the result at Jade Stadium, then they fell apart while they got it against Rabbitohs last week.
Bulldogs this time, safety first from halfway, nowhere near the sideline. And it's the Warriors with Tuamavavi, who starts today in the absence of the Kiwi captain, Ruben Wiki, who I'm sure all league fans here in New Zealand will be expecting to play next Friday in the test match at the Cauldron, Suncorp Stadium. Looking forward to that one. A lot of players, of course, here today. Their last chance to impress the selectors, including Ropati, who just played the ball back. Here is luck for the Warriors, just beyond the 30-metre line. Gaddis scored his first try for the Warriors last week. He got a good kick away from dummy half. Patton, a couple of bounces. Now he brings it back, and he's banged down. Price leading the charge.
2 good kicks. The first one from Fiend, a little one over the top with no one covering for the Bulldogs, as that'll be a rake, or play on, as he probably called it. And Sonny Bill Williams gets his first hit up and an offload.
Bulldogs now making some inroads. Holsworth plays it back. O'Mealy, Sonny Bill Williams looking for the offload. On the halfway line, Grimaldi, Azatazi, Mason, some big boppers involved here. Grimaldi from dummy half, considers his options, goes to ground. Almost 5 gone. Dogs 30 metres out from the Warriors goal line. Holsworth. 5'8" today, although in the 7 jumper. Ryan, the Bobcat, he gets chopped down and loses the football in the process. Row Party comes away with it as we go sideline for the first time today. Stephen McIver, good afternoon.
Thank you, Cox. So moving into 6 minutes in this first half, and the Bulldogs showing a willingness to throw this ball around, although ball control by both sides right now a little dodgy. One late run-on change. Arwen Gutenberg pushed to the bench Michael Luck into the starting side. So he started last week and Silly knows how to do the job. The wind, by the way, quite strong running the Warriors. So the Warriors are running with the wind. But as we've seen already, ball control going to be at a premium this afternoon with both sides wanting the 2. And in the case of the Warriors, this is a 4-point game.
Yes, the bye next week with the test match on as the Bulldogs now look to split them with Tonga. Willie Tonga gets up to play the footy. O'Mealy, hard and straight like a bowling ball, slipped it to Holsworth. Here's the try, the first try. Holsworth gets the 4-pointer, but put it down to Mark O'Mealy as the Dogs hit the front. 4 plays, 2 kick to come.
Plenty of pressure on the halves at the Dogs with no Brent Sherwin. And this time they don't need a last play option because they get it early. They just attack the line. O'Mealy too strong, stands upright. No one wraps the ball up and then it's out the back. And Holdsworth, well, he's a big enough guy. Can play lock or 5'8" at half today. Big man.
And it's one of the most difficult things to do is to stop an offensive line or momentum coming at you when you move and then stand, as opposed to looking to get some line speed and going and getting. O'Mealy on that occasion again being able to find the offload. And there's the recipient, Holdsworth.
Not sure if he's superstitious or not, but today his 13th game in the top grade and making the most of his opportunities. Daniel Holdsworth, his 3rd career try, his 1st for the season.
And this is something that the Bulldogs will do, is that they will force you to make some decisions defensively as to whether or not to stay or go. On that occasion, Clinton Torpingham choosing to stay off. Get it wrong, you pay a price.
Al Masri, modern day legend at Belmore, of course. 15 in from touch, 21 out from goal, no worries. 4 becomes 6, and it's the Dogs by 4.
The best way to defend against the Bulldogs is do a Bulldogs on them. Go up and in on them and attack the football. If you don't attack and stop the football, they'll damage you before they get to their last tackle for sure. And this is exactly what happens. Fien goes in low, didn't attack the football, and the next player in Torpy didn't even have a crack at him.
Nathan Fien will get us back underway. Warriors running from right to left, of course, defending the Manukau into the ground. Here comes Azatazi.
And the big battle this afternoon is going to be about making those decisions. We saw in the Holdsworth try Clinton Torpy opting to stay uninvolved, but on the outside of Holdsworth was Sonny Bill Williams.
Oh, and Sonny Bill Williams, did you see that ball? Stood Pricey up, got his arm around the back and offloaded it as well.
Special welcome to our international audiences, especially those on the other side of the Tasman today, watching through Fox Sports as the Warriors aim up in defence here, leading the way for them. Michael Luck making the most of his promotion to the starting team today. Here's Mason. They move up quickly on him. That's how you do it, says Steve Price. Here comes the last. And they get a kick away off the boot of Holsworth, and Byrne has got it now for the Warriors. Clinton Torpy goes from dummy half. Anderson, 5 short of halfway. Gaddis serves it up for Price. He crosses the midway stripe. Passes before the line. Tuamavavi goes to ground. Quick play the ball. Corpy says we'll go the blind. Row Party with the dummy. Martin in possession. Comes back in field. Good play. Stays well clear of that sideline. They swing it across to Fien, second receiver. He puts through the kick. It finds open pasture, but a kind bounce here for Al Masri. And he is chopped down in copybook fashion, courtesy of George Gaddis.
Good set of 6 from the Warriors with that. I like the way Stephen Price took 2 of them, Mavavi to the line with them, and a little tip on at the line. That's what they need to do all game. Keep doing it. It gives them an extra 10, 15 yards every set of 6.
But it was an even better defensive set out of the Bulldogs as well. They're knowing that the Warriors are looking to expose the out and in style of the Dogs. They shifted wide, but the Bulldogs meet anything that's been thrown at them at the moment. Mason takes it up.
Mason attracting plenty of defenders there. Tuamavavi and Price leading the way. Now a kick, again off the boot of Holsworth. Brent Webb brings it back. Look at the wall of blue and white.
And this is what we talk about, making a side defend deep in their territory. This is the second kick in the second set. The first one saw the Warriors restart around the 30. This time, restarting on about the 15. The arm wrestle starting to favour the Bulldogs.
Referee Gavin Badger copping the pleasantries of the Auckland faithful. Gaddis looking for the offload, but excellent work on the part of O'Mealy to wrap him up. Webb doesn't go too far. Lovely tackle from Corey Hughes. Here's Fiend with the kick. Straight down the throat of Utah. Pocket rocket. He is repelled.
We saw then Tony Grimaldi, the lock forward from the Bulldogs, chase out a dummy half, as Stephen Price has done for the Dogs for years, and put a bit of pressure on Fiend. Fiend only had one option, one way to kick then, and that was to his right.
O'Mealy, safety first football, 5 short of halfway. Bulldogs coming to town with a 3-3 record, perhaps a forward pass. Badger says that's fine, and it's Azatazi who takes the tackle. Mason, he passes before the line. Here comes the last. Here comes the kick. Holsworth provides it. And Byrne just lets the footy find touch here. They'll take the scrum, the Warriors.
And it's a good play as well. Many suggesting that it often the better play or better result is a ball staying in play and forcing a side to react coming off their line. But sometimes so early in the game, it's also good when you're trying to find your way back into form, just to allow yourself to restart with a bit of shape, a bit of structure, and come up with a nice defensive set.
Interesting here with the scrum too. Sonny Bill Williams effectively playing lined up at 5'8" here. Warriors with the foot in through Fiend. There he is, Sonny Bill, 52 minutes, and as I say, good numbers last week against Manly. This is Torpy now in possession for the Warriors. And he provides a pass back to Webb. Not sure if he was expecting it. Torpy, he helps out once more from dummy half. Doesn't go very far. It was young Roberts, who's on debut, who came up with the tackle. Here's Price. Warriors 3-4 is their record as we come into round 8.
And they now need Abantu Mababi to make a dent.
Tuamavavi providing the second phase as they spread it. Row party, there is an overlap. There's problems for Utah. Tony Martin with an incisive run. Webb, here's the last. Fiend's got it. There goes the kick. Al Masri will let it go dead surely. There's too much weight on that.
Good second phase ball for the Warriors. And this is the side to go where Tonga's defending as well. That's where I'll attack Tonga and Utah. Was a player held back here, there. Bobcat Ryan got his hands on top of Row Party. They seem to be queuing up on the left-hand inside of Tony Martin, and he decided not to throw the pass. First opportunity for the Warriors gone begging.
Well, you asked the question, DJ, and the answer was yes.
Mason has got it now. Testing out the Warriors' defence, 10 short of halfway. Korpu there, so too Stephen Price. Here's Andrew Ryan, the Bulldogs captain, on the halfway line.
And very lucky not to concede a penalty just moments ago. Interference there.
Luck looks up at the referee, says, are you happy with that? Badge, I'm not sure if he said too much, but play continues. Here's Sonny Bill. Williams looking for the offload. This pin-up boy in the blue and white of Canterbury. No doubt a key man for the Kiwis next Friday night at Suncorp. Here's the kick. Not too much purpose really about it. Brent Webb gobbles it up, brings it back almost to the point where the kick was executed in the first place.
Be interesting to see where the Warriors go against the Dogs today. I'd suggest that once they get an offload out the back, is they'll get a penalty here for inside the 10. As soon as they get an offload out the back of around the rut, they need to shift it wide and shift it to the left. Or should I say, sorry, to the right where Tonga is. And that's where the holes will be. You just get the Bulldogs defence in two minds then once you put a dent in them up the front, and their structure's not as good out wide.
I think, DJ, they've already shown that is the intention on a couple of times. Bulldog defensively have been up to it, been able to react, find the shape, the ability to restructure, reset. But on that one occasion, just gone with Tony Martin going down the right-hand side, nearly came unstuck.
Steve Price on tackle 1. He's banged down by Ryan. Gets to the 30-metre line despite those efforts. Feed goes across to Tulmavavi, who really needs to ramp up his performance today in the absence of Wiki. He goes to ground. A 3-man tackle. They peel off one by one. Fiend's got it. First receiver goes to Row Party. He beats one. Can't beat a second. Nice defensive work from Tonga. Korpu. There's the drums beat in the background. The Warriors, they turn it over. Roberts is not interested. Will take the scrum, he says. And Tony Martin clearly disappointed with that particular play.
Right at the end, Korpu gets stuck in there and the players overrun him. Then he's not too sure exactly what to do, and he passes the ball to Martin, who already had Utai on him, and the pass was behind him, which put a little bit more pressure on him. So Korpu could have then possibly just gone himself and killed one as they were getting set to come wide again.
But it was a play before where Tonga come rushing up. He made the decision to hit on Jerome Row Party. If he was able to keep his footing, he would have found his outside support. Certainly the target.
Bulldogs now with an overlap. Sonny Bell says, here you go, Hassan. You keep going. And Al Masri is eventually put away by Torby. That was constructive, to say the least. O'Mealy wants it. He gets it. Looking to trample Fiend, but Fiend stuck to him like glue, albeit around the ankles. Holsworth. He goes out now to Roberts in his first game in the big time. Former Western Suburbs Magpie junior. I'm sure they're watching in and around Campbelltown this afternoon. Mason winds up. Still going the big unit. Crowd pretty happy to see him on his backside. Holsworth holds up the pass. They spread it across to Sonny Bill. There's the second phase. Grimaldi says, I'll have a go. He shut down on the last, so they have repelled the Bulldogs. They took their chances. They've come up empty.
They've done well. They know the ball's going to go to that man, Sonny Bill, on screen, and tying them up. Well, it's a job for 3-4 players at least. They've offloaded. Asatasi will score.
Asatasi says, thank you very much. How about that for a gift? Although they will check the tape. Everybody at the ground, no doubt those watching, thought, oh, well, the Warriors, they'll settle in, hit it up. Then the mistake, and Asatasi could well have pounced here to claim the Bulldogs' second try.
Just working one out. Was that played out by Corey Hughes, or was the impact of the tackle the determining factor? Asatasi won't get any easier. I think it's the impact. Grimaldi gets shoved away, and then Corey Hughes comes in. Doesn't look like he's played or grabbed at the ball. The end-on view will probably be the best one.
Two things they're looking for. One is whether or not there's interference with the ball. Did they steal it? Two, was there a contact there by the Bulldog defender? The answer to both those questions, no.
Phil Curley is the video referee here today, a regular visitor to our shores. In fact, memory serves me right, he's been everywhere from Adelaide to Auckland this year. Loves a trip away. He has the call upstairs, but it looks that we have 4 points here for the Bulldogs. And there is confirmation from the man upstairs. So the Bulldogs move into double figures in the 18th minute. Asatasi with a very straightforward try, courtesy of the mistake. They lead by 8, kick to come.
And the Warriors will be disappointed in this. They concentrated all their energy on wrapping up Sonny Bill out wide. Here we'll see him in some action. Easy, that one, isn't it? Just handing off to Hassan. He's going to have a field day outside this man, or playing on the right-hand side. And then after wrapping them up down the right-hand edge, they're working their way out. All their defensive efforts were in stopping their attack. And when they got the ball, well, a simple knockout provides 6 points.
Yeah, it's interesting that the opportunities for both these sides are on the respective sidelines. On the far side, up against Tonga Nutai's wing, and on this side for the Bulldogs, obviously through the offload of Sonny Bill Williams.
The record-breaking Hazem El Masri. He slots it, as you would expect. So it's a neat dozen for the Dogs. They lead by 10 midway through the first half.
Don't you think he's relishing the chance to start the game today, Sonny Bill Williams? Those type of footballers, they don't like sitting on the bench watching the other guys go at it. Get me out there as soon as you can. Starting the match, first class.
Well, starting the match already, 8 hit-ups and 4 tackles. So he's busy.
Off the tee once more for Fiend and the Warriors. Speak of the devil. Who's got it? You got it. It's Sonny Bill.
Kosso, Ivan Cleary has made a couple of changes. Michael Luck off, excuse me. Owen Goodbill is also on, along with Sione Famuina with Irvan Tumavavi on the bench.
And it is Guttenbeil who's involved in that tackle that Badger did not like. There he is, the veteran second rower. Just on bench players, it'll be interesting to see just what sort of role that Sonny Bill does play in that test match next Friday night. Of course, the team to be announced publicly tonight on Sky Sport. NRL full-time, join us for that. We'll wrap up the weekend's matches as O'Mealy looks to penetrate the line. George Gaddis has his hands full. Corey Hughes turns it back on the inside. Pat lurking around, up from fullback. On report too, if you joined us late, a collision involving Nathan Fiend as Roberts now accepts the football. New kid on the block. Martin is there to shut him down with the help of Row Party. Tonga. 8 metres out the Dogs, searching for try number 3. It's the last tackle. Let's see what they've got. Holsworth with a little dab, and it's been accepted by Webb. He read the play beautifully.
And well defended there by Mark O'Mealy as well. He anticipated where the ball was going. Just moments before, he just responded with a wonderful carry. He's in good form.
Byrne got it back to the 20. Perhaps a hint of a high tackle there, Mark O'Mealy. You look at Anderson, he was giving the referee a little bit of a stare. Play continues. This is rugby league after all.
Don't you think this Bulldogs forward packs have had a little bit of a heart-to-heart this week, I believe. They're charging into their work with the ball and defensively ever so solid up the middle. They've had a heart-to-heart for sure this week.
You're not talking crisis talks, are you? But one thing they have been strong at the moment is in the middle of the ruck defensively. The Warriors are finding it difficult to get on the front foot, to get any form of momentum in that play the ball area. They're being met by a good defensive line that's also just slowing it down a little, allowing them to reset and meet what comes at them.
Quite a significant day too in the history of the Bulldogs. This in fact their 1500th game in the competition since joining the league way back in 1935. Ryan back to Mason. 3 in the tackle once more. Gaddis involved, Valmawina and Price. Azatazi, he hits it up. Now, 5th and final has been signalled by referee Gavin Badger. Holsworth, the bomb. Webb has a look. Webb has a catch. Excellent work. Stuck to his guns. Sun blazing down onto ERICSSON. Never looked like dropping the football. And now, Talapapa making some good inroads.
2 great individual efforts. The catch was a ripper. I thought Bobcat O'Ryan was in front of the kicker, and he took off, and then Talapapa out of dummy half. Well, good 40-metre gain. Good start.
Valmawina looking for second phase. Not this time, Sione.
And look at the difference you get when you get a little bit of speed out of the play. Talapapa providing it on that occasion. You start to get some momentum.
Row Party gives it to Tony Martin. He goes to ground eventually. A couple of metres in touch on that eastern side of the ground. Fiend at second receiver. Bombs away. A test for Al Masri in the in goal. In fact, too deep. Way too deep.
Well, Talapapa started that set on fire. Got the scoot out of dummy half, as you'll see here, and just took off. Good footwork. And Roberts was the tackler, or would-be tackler, and then he stays alive. He provided some inspiration last week with some enthusiastic running, and he's doing it again today. And on the back of it, the kick from Fiend, just a little bit too deep.
Adam Perry awaiting his entry into the game. No doubt will relieve Corey Hughes at dummy half. Speaking of Hughes, here he is in possession, crossing halfway. handing it on to Azatasi.
And there's a difference in the two packs at the moment. One being able to find themselves going forward, facing up to a retreating defensive line.
Ryan comes to that line. Corpu affects the tackle. Price involved as well. Grimaldi. Senior player. Not a celebrated player, but certainly a senior one at Belmore. Here comes the last. Holsworth, former Dragon. Crossfield kick. Test for Byrne. He fails the test. Effectively 6 to go. Sonny Bill will not panic here. He takes the tackle of Clinton Torpey. So more pressure, courtesy of this penalty. Torpey just couldn't help himself. And Gavin Badger is Johnny on the spot to make the call.
Some individual errors are going to put your team under plenty of pressure. We saw them drop the ball coming off their own line, one tackle out. And this take wasn't all that hard. He got up early. Haslam wasn't even contesting. Front on, hands up, straight through the breadbasket on the last set. Not going to give the Bulldogs too much opportunity and come away with an even match. Just handing them the game at this stage.
Here's Chris Armott with some second phase. That's been knocked back by Perry. Should be play on. But the Warriors... Well, what's he ruled here? He's ruled a knock on against the Dogs. Bring on the replay, I say.
Well, the replay will tell the story. Ball out the back.
Well, maybe a little knock on, propelled towards his opponent's try line. That's what's in the rule book. That's what counts.
I think irrespective of what he called, the ball would have gone either way to the Warriors, whether it would have been a play on or as it's happened from the scrum down. Clinton Torpey.
15 out from half-time. 2 tries to 0. Bulldogs by 10. Byrne with another mistake. Here come the Dogs. He's having a wretched run. Todd Byrne, a couple of mistakes in a couple of minutes. He retreats. No doubt embarrassed. Another opportunity for the Bulldogs as Azatasi is banged out. Perry serves up the pass as they go the blind side. Roberts, Tonga with the fan. He's got a good one, hasn't he? This time they make sure of him and they put him away. A lot of possession in their own half of the Warriors. They've got problems here. The Dogs have them under the pump. Utai with the play of the ball that took it. An age. Bouncing ball comes across now to Holsworth. Mason. Good defence on Willie Mason. Fiend downstairs. Falmawina up top. Holsworth. They work the blind. Big defence on Holsworth. Grimaldi. Mason. Back now to Roberts. Roberts with a step, a jink, and a tackle from Gutenberg.
If they go left, Talapapa's and all sorts. Still clutching at an arm or a shoulder.
That's where they go. Holsworth with the kick, little kick, great bounce for the Warriors. Martin's got it. They weather the storm. They've done well, remarkably well.
They needed to, that's for sure. Talapapa, very ginger and back play. They've had trouble with their wingers this year. Vatuvai, of course, out for a couple of weeks as well. And yes, he is struggling. He will be replaced, I'd imagine.
And Ravelli's on the field now, and perhaps the order of the day is exactly what Badger has just afforded them, and that's a penalty. That's a piggyback that will get them out of their 30-metre zone.
In just his second game, Missy Talapapa, a newcomer, relatively speaking, to rugby league. This is not a good look at all. Seems to have become a cursed jumper.
Well, he seems to be a little bit better there on that shot than what he was.
Well, let's not preempt it, guys. There's a fine kick by Nathan Feen. They absorbed a lot of pressure thrown at them down the other end at their own doing on the back of a couple of unforced errors. Now they get the opportunity to go back and perhaps come up with a counter jab.
10-point spread. O'Mealy has his boarding pass on the sideline. Roparty looking for a runner on the inside. His name is Corpu. Good stuff from Wairangi. Second phase. Webb. Price beats 1, beats 2. Still going. The veteran campaigner, then he forces the issue and he pays the price. They turn it over once more, the Warriors.
Just one too many there by the captain. What's needed right now when you're struggling to go forward is to get some little men's quick feet in the acting half. Look to come out quick at them. Otherwise you run the risk of starting to go lateral, side to side.
Well, boys, Price has come off and Simon Mannering has come on.
Simon Mannering, of course, we've yet to see him this year until today. Has been biding his time for the Wellington franchise in the Bartercard Cup. But look at this, the Warriors backpedaling once more. Dogs with yet another chance to post points. Crossfield kick from Holsworth. And a good catch in the end. Talapapa, injured or not, perhaps playing with pain. Some gamesmanship there, but he did well. He took the catch.
Well, the last play option from the Dogs is one that's going to come into question as we see Asatasi come off for a breather. The kick to Talapapa was the correct way to go because the sun in his eyes, we saw it from the kickoff. But the kick itself, the execution of it was just ordinary. Didn't have enough height on it. No one could get there to compete for the football, so it was a nothing kick really. Talapapa injured. Well, he's done well to come back and get himself back into the game.
Here's a strip, here's a penalty.
And a penalty that'll start to help the possession for the Warriors as well. They're struggling in that department. A lot of it on the back of their own errors, giving all the ball to the Dogs. Only moments ago, they were in exactly the same position on the football field. Sonny Bill just getting a little too involved. It was Clinton Torpey earlier in the game. This time, Sonny Bill.
Well, the replay was somewhat interesting, to say the least. Penalty, no doubt, sticks. I'm sure some of the Bulldogs fans wouldn't be too impressed. Ravelli goes to Row Party. He crabs across field and almost got through. And again, they cough it up. Roberts on debut. How much pace has he got? Not quite enough. Ravelli had to make the tackle. O'Mealy passing before the line. Perry, they shovel it out wide. Here's Grimaldi. Oh, jolting tackle. Clinton Torpey. How good was that? How about that for a big play to help out your teammates when they were under the pump big time?
Spectacular. Lifted him in the air, didn't get him past the horizontal, so Corey should be okay. But the Dogs had a huge opening on this right-hand side. Catch and pass was the answer all the way through. And Torpey pushes up and in. And this is what happens. Should have thrown it there, Tony Grimaldi, and they're bang. Wow, one-on-one. Sure, a little bit dangerous.
Spot on there, DJ. Sometimes you see players just one step too many when all that's required is when you need to pass, you pass. You had Sonny Bill. He had enough space to wind up, give him the ball early and let him play.
Valmawina plays it back. Ravelli has got some deft footwork. We know that. Now, some of these Warriors looking rather flat-footed. Mannering plays it back. Fiend chips over the top. And it's come off Patton. It's a knock-on against the Warriors. Well, it looked promising, but the General has come up with it.
The games like this where there's errors both ways and knock-ons and stuff really takes a fatigue factor out of the big guys, and that's why you'll see Mason, Asatasi and even men around the middle of the ruck like Corey Hughes sitting on the bench. It's frantic. It's from end to end. It's played in the middle of the field, but there's very little breathers. So the Warriors too, they'll be feeling this as well.
But it's games like this that need someone to assume the helm and take leadership and settle it down and find a way through this. And they still come back to making some yards. The Warriors opted not to take an established, recognised front row on the bench this afternoon. Looking for 4 back rows or 3 back rows and a half. The key is to use the mobility in the little men.
Patton now, up from fullback. And he comes across his friend, his new friend, Clinton Torpey. Here's the last. There's the kick, and it finds the line. Everyone now will get that breather that you gentlemen have been talking about.
Well, I was just about to say, is it a crime in this game to find the line? Just slow it down and gain some composure. And this is exactly what Holdsworth's done. Spot on. He said, look, the last time we've had the Warriors down the send 2 or 3 times, they've coughed it up on tackle 1 or tackle 2. So why not just put it down the send and make them work out it from here again? We might get it back.
And get some oxygen.
For all.
Just over 7 minutes out from Oranges here. NRL Sunday, game 1 of that. Dogs by 10. Boom. He got it back to the 30-metre line. And he gets a penalty for his team as well. Louis Anderson, Kiwi international, former junior Kiwi captain, leaving the battlefield.
The Warriors certainly starting to enjoy the advantage when it comes to penalties. They now need to start converting those into points. 5-2 the penalty count.
Ravelli goes to rotating. Jerome playing in the 6 jumper that he certainly feels at home with. Guttenbeil now goes to ground. O'Mealy over the top and Perry downstairs. Fiend's got it, running the football. Great ball, great angle, great line, great try. Corpu gets it, but put it down to Fiend. He was the architect. They get their first 4-pointer, and up go the fans at ERICSSON.
Good football. They set themselves up out to the left. And good straight hard running by Corpu coming back towards the post. You have a look at this. Fiend will scoot back across the ruck and pick him up. Gets through without even a hand laid on him. He come from deep too, Corpu. I like the look of that. Look at that. Right round the back and here. Short ball comes in. Got Tonga flat-footed. Too easy. Tonga and Roberts defending on that side of the field. They'll go there all day.
And all you got to say is how simple the game of rugby league is when you play it simple. And that's about Nathan Fiend deciding to change the point of attack. He comes from behind the ruck and then picks up a hard running back row of Wairangi Corpu, runs the ideal angle, the right angle, in between 2 defenders, in 2 minds as to who was going to nominate him. It can be so simple sometimes, but so effective.
Tony Martin now looking to convert the try scored by the very versatile and underrated Wairangi Corpu. Moves in, touches like it, up go the flags. Another 2 points. The margin all of a sudden is back to 4. 4 before the break, 12 plays 8. And that brings up 100 points for the Warriors for Tony Martin. And it came courtesy of Nathan Fiend and Wairangi Corpu.
Courtesy also of a few penalties that the Dogs have been guilty of giving away and inviting the Warriors back down into their own half.
Holsworth sends us into the next passage of play here. Guttenbeil brings it back for the Warriors. Dogs have won on their last 2 visits here to Auckland. There's been some very competitive affairs between these 2 clubs, of course, since the Warriors joined the league in '95. All-time head-to-head favouring the Dogs 9-8. There have been the 2 draws as well. In the critical stage of this game here, of course, the back end of the first half. Falmawina looking to conjure something here for the Warriors, the home side. All of a sudden, you get the impression their spirits have lifted. Fiend, hurried kick. Here's the chase. Webb's got pace, gets a bounce, has support. Plenty of support. Champagne football there from the Warriors. Tony Martin playing his best football for the club. He claims 4 points. And they will check the tape.
No problems with this from high up in the grandstand here. Tony Martin goes in over on the right-hand side, but great work. He comes from the inside, Webb. They'll check the onside. Is he onside? Oh, we got a problem. He's in front. Unlucky, Webb. Well, 1 metre in front of the kicker, and there was plenty of time too. He could have been a metre behind him, or at least 3 or 4 metres behind him. They'll pull this one back. The Dogs will get out of jail, but it's not the first time we've seen the little kick today from Fiend. Oh, unfortunate for sure. Fiend, spot on with a little kick. Put one in before and got flattened by the fullback Patton. Knows he's at home, but this time, Brent Webb, well, just too quick out of the blocks.
We are watching this frame by frame. Phil Cooley has the call here, but from what we have seen, this will be a red light.
A little bit of a camera angle, Costo, but he was definitely in front.
Well, for mine, Brent Webb is offside. Just, and that's all it takes. It looked good.
Oh, it looked great. Even the finishing touches where Webb timed his pass perfectly to the try scorer here, and Martin sold Matty Utai, the biggest dummy of all. Utai came to him and then he shifted the ball when he had Patton covered.
Well, that is no surprise. Fans unhappy. That is no surprise either.
And would have been a big play in the game too. The Dogs had the far better of the first half here. as we see the offside play. And the Warriors, they would have gone to half-time in front. And who would have believed that after 30 minutes of the game? But the Dogs, they're out of trouble here, and they'll get the last opportunity of the first half.
5-3, the penalty count still favouring the Warriors. Brent Webb at the back having plenty to say. And now, doing his talking with the football is the man they called the Shrek, O'Mealy, with a barnstorming run on tackle number 1.
He's fired up. He wants a test jumper for sure.
Very much in stark contrast to what they served up last week against Manly. Now hitting it up is Brad Moran in 16 today. He plays it back. The Dogs go the right side. Holsworth, Patton up from fullback, looking for a hole. There is nothing forthcoming. Sonny Bill Williams loses the football. Well, you wouldn't know he was a Kiwi on that play. The crowd went up as if it was a try. And now looking for 4 points is Torpy. He has a brain explosion yet again. Such an enigma I should say, is Clinton Torpy. I'm lost for words, but here come the Bulldogs, looking to make the most of this. You'd back him in to score here. Roberts says, Willie Tonga, it's all yours, my friend, and they make them pay. Tonga gets 4 points. And a gut-wrenching try as far as the Warriors are concerned. It's 16-8.
Oh, basic stuff. Wanting to get to half-time, the Warriors, well, they just got there a bit early and they switched off. When the ball goes over the left-hand side, it's a nice pass from Roberts. Just times it nicely. Martin gets caught out of position and Talapapa was left floundering out on the wing and came up with no one. This was the start of it. Torpy just needed to stand up and play the ball. Would have got a call from one of the Bulldogs people playing the game. I know Corey Hughes calls for the ball all the time, no matter where he is on the field, so maybe he had a voice in there. And then Roberts. Well, wasn't easy to find Tonga because it was late and there was a player there in Tony Martin, but he does well. Look at that. Gets him in 2 minds, hands in the air. And Willie Tonga, well, it's easy for him.
Willie Tonga, a man whose future has been the subject of considerable debate. Not quite in the same league as Mark Gasnier, of course, but he certainly knows how to score tries. That's what we do know.
What about the turnaround in this game? Denied a try.
12-point turnaround, Darryl.
Denied a try, the Warriors at the far end of the field for a metre offside, which was a fair call. And then 1 set later, they go down themselves.
Such a clinical side, aren't they, the Bulldogs? In the course of history, we have seen that time and time again. El Masri comes up with a miss. Folks heads for the sheds. He would have to be content when you look at the scoreboard. We have half-time at ERICSSON Stadium, and it's the Dogs, NRL Sunday here, leading the Warriors at 16 points to 8. Stick with us. More to come from Auckland right after this.
The Back Page. Sport's biggest issues. And only the occasional dodgy cliche.
The questions asked when I'm generally at the service desk. The most common I would say is, have you seen my husband? I've lost him in the store somewhere.
Portable power garden stake only $29.80. GMC petrol blower $99. Bosch 14.4 volt cordless drill $147. Dulux 101 advanced paint $59.90. CSR Gyprock plasterboard just $12.90.
That's probably the most common.
Bunnings Warehouse. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Rugby, up to 7 live games every week from the Tooheys News Super 14 with every final live. Rugby in May on Fox Sports.
This May on BBC World. Who will be the next global superpowers?
We'll be reporting live from India and China with special features and stories from both countries.
Plus hard talk interviews from India and the world debate on America's reaction to the emerging giants.
Can sport help save the planet, promote peace and reduce poverty?
Sport can change a child's life. We can make a change. Oh, sport has become such a powerful tool.
A special debate on the role of sport, a sporting chance. It's not always easy to come up with good answers.
Yes or no?
I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a metaphor.
Getting to the point with politicians, business leaders and people with power. Asking questions, getting you the answers. That's my job.
It's Stephen Sacker. It's Hard Talk. That's the highlights this May on BBC World.
In 2006, Fox Sports will keep you up to speed in the fast-paced world of motorsports.
Don't move from your seat.
Plus, our weekly magazine shows put you trackside for the very best from the local scene. If it happens in the world of motorsport, it happens on Fox Sports.
With some very poor ball control by the Warriors. 18-8 as the Westpac rescue helicopter drops down the halftime entertainment. But if you want entertainment on and off the field and in the ring, Kevin Campion, former Warrior, you're going in the ring on Thursday night against the Chief Tuamave. What's got into you?
Mate, I don't know, to tell you the truth.
Kevin.
I've never boxed in my life, and
oh no, come on! I can take you back to Shane Webke a couple of years ago. What do you mean you didn't box before?
Oh, mate, that was just that was heat of the moment. But I'm doing it for a good cause. You know, children's cancer in New Zealand. It's a fantastic cause, and I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, good to have you,
Kevin. I've just seen Tony Tuamave on the way down. He says you can't punch.
He's right.
Go on, I want some pre-belt trash talk.
No, go and ask my trainer, mate. He's been punching holes in me for 6 weeks now, and I just can't wait for this thing to be over.
So you're not enjoying it, though?
No, not at all.
Mate, it's good fun. Trust me, it's good fun.
It's not good fun.
Mate, it's good fun. Don't worry about it. If you last 42 seconds, I'll be proud of you. All right, let's have a look at what's been going on the game here, because the Dogs have come to play, and they've come to play up the middle. Early on, though, Nathan Ving gets taken up by Luke Patton. Pete, they get a penalty. They'll get the 2 points on the board. Should be on report.
Well, I think you're going to find it'll be exactly that. It's all about, you know, contact with the head, with whether it's with reckless or careless use. It happened. But here's O'Mealy taking it to a line, and he finds an offload that's got Holdsworth on the end of it. There's the first. But this game's all about errors in territory, and at the moment, the Warriors just making too many errors at the wrong end.
First 2 tries come off handling errors. Louis Anderson here. The one thing that's impressed me most today, Camber, is the Bulldog pack. Some of these guys want their test jumpers.
They do, and they're playing very well, especially Mark O'Mealy up the front. He's taking their side forward, and he's having a whale of a game. But in saying that, you look at Steve Price as well. I think he's putting up his hand as well.
Pete, change the position of attack, and away they go.
Well, this play here, we called it as being so simple, but it's so effective. Here, unfortunately, just moments before half-time, not going the way of the Warriors, but at moments later, you get what the Bulldogs have become specials at. Right on the stroke of half-time, they come up, courtesy of an error again.
Unforgivable,
at the wrong end.
I'd say.
Well, there's been a number down there, and that's going to be the talk at half-time. It's about where you're committing them. Here, Willie Tong on the back of a great pass.
Coach killers, those passes, aren't they?
Mate, they are coach killers, especially before half-time. I mean, you've got to take your hat off to the Warriors forward pack. They got the Warriors back into the game, and for someone to come in and do something like that, but just before half-time, I can just imagine what I'd be saying.
Campo, when you come into a game up against a big physical forward pack like the Bulldogs, you only have one recognised, well, you have no forwards, no front rowers sitting on the bench. Where do you play the game?
But you still got to play that game up the middle. You know, they're big players, and they've got to get tired. And I thought the Warriors showed last week that the little players around the rucks, making inroads. Owen Goodbeal, big right foot step back up the middle, support play. They've got to go back up that middle.
You're missing this, aren't you?
I'm missing it, mate. I wish I was out there to tell you the truth. It's a great day at ERICSSON Stadium. The fans are out in force, and it's fantastic.
But life on the coast's okay.
It's not bad.
Well, look at the tan. Look at the tan.
All right, well, hey, good luck. Good luck against the Chief, mate.
Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate that support.
We are done for half-time. Kevin Campion of the Fight for Life for Children Cancer. Up against the Chief, Tony Tumavave. We're back on the other side to hear what the Warriors say from their half-time.
Thursday nights, catch Main Game.
It's the fastest football wrap on TV.
Join John Casey and our team of top sports writers broadcasting across Australia as they address all the big issues of the rugby league, union and AFL worlds.
Good riddance, sign now.
Andrew Johns is a big name even in Melbourne.
They cannot win the premiership.
Plus, we'll bring you special guests with the inside line on some of footy's biggest personalities and most respected names. Main Game, Thursday night, 7:30, Fox Sports 2.
Not this. Not that. Not whatever.
Not a trend. Not an afterthought.
Not a quiet night in. Not a compromise.
Not for everyone. Not meant to be. It just is.
The Bourbon. International Rugby League returns to Brisbane when the Kangaroos clash with the Kiwis in the Bundaberg Rum Test match. The Kangaroos are hungry for revenge after their caning in last year's Tri-Nations final. The Kiwis will be looking to defend their title as the world's best rugby league country. So get to the game and show your support for the green and gold by screaming Kangaroos. Bundaberg Rum Test match, Friday, March 5, kick-off 7:30, Suncorp Stadium.
Win your mum a great Byron Bay getaway from Harvey Norman this Mother's Day. There are 100 three-day luxurious Byron at Byron Resort and Spa prizes to be won. Your mum can enjoy this idyllic lush rainforest setting with a carefree getaway for two, including a 1-hour massage each in the Byron at Byron Resort Day Spa. Just purchase a great Mother's Day gift from Harvey Norman and mum's in the draw. Buy now and pay no deposit, no repayments and no interest for 18 months. Make your mum's day with Harvey Norman and the perfect hideaway. Byron at Byron Resort.
Wednesday, the boys are back to show you how to do it yourself with a little guidance and the right advice. Your Place, 7:30 Wednesday on How To.
Fox Sports gets you in the game with over 300 hours of live sport in May. Grand Slam Tennis, the ATP Masters Series continues live from the clay courts of Europe as the world's best get set for the French Open from May 28th live. Motorsport, the Aussies continue their assault on the MotoGP Championship live. Plus, World Superbikes, NASCAR and the World Rally Championship. NRL, 3 live games every weekend along with replays of every game. Plus, expert analysis on NRL Scoreboard and NRL on Fox. Fox Sports brings you more league every week in May. Rugby Union, up to 7 live games every week from the Tooheys New Super 14, along with all the finals live and the Heineken Cup final live. Golf, over 70 hours of live golf from the US PGA, LPGA and European tours. Plus all the highlights every Tuesday night on The Golf Show. That's May on Fox Sports.
Sunday at ERICSSON Stadium where the Dogs, they hold the Aces at the split. Let's go sideline, catch up with the Warriors assistant coach, John Auckland. He's with Steve.
Well, John, not the way to go into half-time conceding a try.
No, you know, like that was poor play on our part. We've handed them a lot of points at, you know, the first half. Hopefully that'll stop the second half and we'll bring home the bacon.
What's been said?
Oh, just that, you know, to sort of eliminate the errors down our end. And, you know, boys are poking their nose through the line all the time. It's just a matter of pushing up and taking our chances when they come. And, you know, like we say, like being a bit more smarter down our end of the field.
All right, good luck.
Thanks very much, Steve.
Okay, let's go downstairs, and Peter has a special guest.
Brad, it's always good to get those ones.
I just and then
scoring just before half-time for us. Just that buffer. I thought we were the better team in the first half, but you know, with the pressure going into this, we want to rectify our left side defence, and because that's where they seem to be attacking us.
We're feeling good at the moment.
Certainly.
Second half underway here, folks, and an 8-point ball game we have on our hands. Warriors led early 2-0, but since then it's been all the men from Belmore. 3 tries to 1, and needless to say they have their tails up, but perhaps we speak too soon here because O'Mealy has come up with a fumble, and we will have a scrum inside the Bulldogs' 20-metre zone.
Had a fine first half, Mark O'Mealy. This time it was actually Sonny Bill Williams playing 5'8", shifting the ball to O'Mealy in front of these posts, and he spills it. The big ogre, Shrek.
Nathan Feen links up with Webb. Webb with a step. Such an evasive customer, isn't he? 8 metres out, Dogs on their own goal line. Falmawina, he can offload.
And who made the tackle on Webb? It was O'Mealy.
Looking to make up for that mistake. Here's Guttenbeil. Nothing fancy here from the number 11. Right in front of the black dot, 5 metres out. Options right and left. They go to Tuamavavi. He is shut down right before the goal line. Ravelli, they miss out Guttenbeil. Here's a chance, here's a try, surely. Falmawina. A dream start to the second half for the Warriors. Subject to confirmation from high above.
Looked fine from here. He's checking for a shepherd or interference, obstruction, call it what you like. As they take account of numbers on the left-hand side, there were players taken out. No problem at all.
Mark O'Mealy tripped.
Well, they're just checking obstruction here involving Guttenbeil. Falmawina, no problem planting the football, but the wide shot will show what we're looking for, if anything. And I say, if anything.
Well, there was a dummy runner. I think it was Guttenbeil coming through, and one of the Bulldog players half puts a hand on him, which takes him out of play, but he's done that himself, so there can't be too much of a problem here for sure. What a start. They might have had a horror finish to the first half. They might have got a dream start to this second half.
Phil Cooley has the call. He's given it. It is game on. What a blow. They strike early, the Warriors. 2 gone second stanza. And we're back to a 4-point ball game. It will shortly be just 2 points.
Well, cough up the ball in your own 15 or 10 and you'll get hurt. It's the only Falmawina and Nathan Feen will show you. Pretty simple, really. They go up outside Holdsworthy, no one's there. Sonny Bill comes across in goal, nothing doing there. And just got them. Surprise tactic right in the first set of 6 of the second half.
An absolute sitter for Tony Martin. He raises the flags. Hope you're watching, Robert. Perhaps enjoying it now at 2 points in this one, 16-14. Falmawina, among those players in the frame for test selection. Off to work we go. Again off the boot of Holsworth. Guttenbeil. Well, what was that?
Well, you talk about test selection, Costo. It'll be interesting to see where the outcome of this afternoon's game and some of the performances that some are starting to throw together, whether or not it's going to change the mindset of the selectors. I know the guy beside us, one of those selectors. He's certainly playing a good hand of poker at the moment and keeping it close to his chest as Ravelli goes for a little skirt out of the acting half.
Ravelli captured by O'Mealy. Tuamavavi winds up. A tank-like run. He has stepped up today in the absence of Wiki. Feen with the kick. He is on his back, straight down the throat of Patton, really, and Luke Patton just gobbled it up.
There's only been one game between these two sides over the last 3 years where you've seen more than 6 points separate the two. And again, this afternoon, the stage is set and the way it's being played at the moment, we're going to see exactly the same. Very little will separate.
Here's a penalty.
You made the tackle. You've got to get square at marker, mate.
Not marking up correctly. One of the fundamentals of our game of rugby league. 5-4 the penalty count now, favouring the locals still.
Well, if the first half is going to be anything like the second half, you won't want to let an opportunity slip you by. And that opportunity I mean about is in the line. We've seen players stand in the line willing to offload. The Bulldogs, O'Mealy, Mason, Sonny Bill for sure. And the Warriors, well, you want to follow your creative players around. Follow Torpy around. I'm sure he threw a ball towards the end of the last half, which wasn't a good one. But Talapapa as well. These guys are going to put some holes in them. And when they do, be there to support them.
Grimaldi. There's Torpy. I'm sure he's still replaying that pass. Here's Roberts, on to Boo. Nice little kick in behind the line. A handy kick because they've got back up there and they forced them in the in goal. So 6 more coming up for the Bulldogs.
And a lot to like about that young Roberts on debut. Certainly one that's not been afraid to put his hand on or get involved. We've seen him with the passing game and now coming to the game with a kick as well. Nice touches.
Difficult for a youngster coming into a team with so many seasoned players and having Brent Sherwin there for years in front of you. To get some dominance and get the ball on your hands is important, no matter how old you are.
Restart coming up as we go sideline. Stephen, you've got an injury update.
So the Dogs going to have to do it with one less on the bench. Adam Perry gone for the day, left medial ligaments.
Well, that is a setback for the Bulldogs without a shadow of a doubt. A lot more pressure on the shoulders of the man moving into dummy half now, Corey Hughes. And here he goes, having a dart from dummy half. 5 metres out. And it comes to Tonga. He's already scored 1. He releases the football. Utai, was it played at? Play on's the call. And the Bulldogs are going very close to the sideline here.
Well done, Mark O'Mealy, to stay in. 3 came in.
Roberts, former Magpie. Big afternoon for him, no doubt. Here comes the last. Holsworth is the go-to man for the Bulldogs. The kick is well weighted. The kick is judicious. The kick is perfect.
And the kick is exactly what you want in terms of being patient and setting your stall and just waiting for another crack. Mark O'Mealy did so well. When you talk about the little things that make a difference, he could have easily found the touchline in the previous play. Managed to stay in despite 3 or 4 defenders coming in to try and get him out. They now get another set of 6. Well played, Mark O'Mealy.
Get another restart for the Warriors. This time it doesn't go too far either. Chris Armand. Boom! Get out of my way, he says. Tackle 1. And here's another bopper. His name is O'Mealy. The Bulldogs now. Ryan. He goes to ground. 8 metres out. Holsworth at first receiver. Takes them on. Balmawina there to shut him down. Tuamavavi. Goodenbeal. 4 in the tackle. Make that Ravelli as well. Now hard and straight from close range. There's a fumble here for sure. Knock on it is. Badger did not miss it. Forget about the replay. We've got a turnover here. And the Dogs, they miss out.
He doesn't mind scoring a try either. Big Mark O'Mealy, and he gets around the park too. The line there. Oh, just trying to reach out and change the ball in his hand to try and put it down. But remember, he was on the far side over here on the touchline, trying to keep the ball in play before they got the kickoff back from under the goal. And then he's on the far side, reaching out to get a try. Good work for the big guy.
Clinton Torpy, they're all over him like a rash. Ben Roberts, he must be a big fan.
The fight from Clinton Torpy and the effort, it's just trying to roll him over onto his back. Sonny Bill not helping by lying there in the play the ball. Nice. He needs to exit that area as well.
Nice little grab too of the calf muscle. Penalty though has been awarded. It's fish and chip paper. Warriors on the attack. 35 out from their own line. This is Row Party providing a ball. Penalty.
Steve Price back into the action as well. Ivan Tuamavavi getting a breather.
And a timely interchange, Stephen, as we go downstairs and listen into referee Badger.
start of this second half, we've probably had 4 penalties against your side. Okay. Number 16's been a problem. I give him the leeway there in a slow play the ball. He wasn't square at mark and makes the tackle. We give him leeway in a late tackle before. As captain, you need to go and control him and the rest of your side. Because if this penalty count blows out, you've only got yourself to blame. Okay, so you go back and work for me. Okay, Andrew, but you go back and work on them.
A big 10, he's operating according to the Bobcat. Well, as long as he's consistent.
Well, it's 7-4, the penalty count in favour of the Warriors at the moment. One thing that the Bulldogs were hugely successful in the opening 40 minutes was about taking the speed out of the play the ball.
Here's Price. 2-point deficit. He'll be relishing the prospect of getting his team back in front. Guttenbeil, a settler, goes nowhere. Hughes. Well, a second effort there. He's got 10 in the bin. Mark O'Mealy has been sent to the sidelines here. Badger has had enough. And there will be no correspondence entered into.
You can call me biased if you like, but I reckon he's hard done by. He's all too quick here.
But the big concern, DJ, is Stephen Price. Just returned to the field. He's now been assisted off.
Boys, big problems down here.
I realise that, and he doesn't look too good either. Haunched over. We possibly may get a look at the impact that caused it. We saw him cart the ball up. Doc Mayhew helping out. The happiest looking camper, that's for sure. We'll give him a couple of minutes and see what's exactly wrong. But yes, the referee, he certainly has had an impact on this game now. It's Guttenbeil. Well, there it is there. I mean, fair go, there's not too much wrong. This is where Pricey gets hurt. What happens? Have a look here. He gets rolled over. Oh, it didn't look like too much of the impact. Maybe twisting, turning. Just copped something in the wrong place by the look of it.
Tumavavi will no doubt have to really crank it up here as they go for another 2 points. Tony Martin has got us back to a tied ball game at 16 apiece with 30 to go.
And just while he's kicking the goal, we see Pricey getting worked on the bench. It looked like a neck problem or somewhere up around the clavicle. Doc Mayhew checking movement around that neck area.
DJ, where do you get this clavicle?
Well, that's somewhere around your neck, mate, on top of your shoulders. Sometimes your head sits in between two of them.
On you, Doc. Here we go.
Stephen Price, dear oh dear. We'll update you on that shortly. Stephen McIver will be down there patrolling the benches, no doubt. The medical staff working on the Warriors captain, keeping in mind that the Bulldogs are down to 12 men and it's even Stevens.
And bearing in mind that also the Kangaroos side to be announced tonight as well. Starting to lose a few numbers when it comes to front rowers.
Ravelli's got it. Be interesting to see who's calling the shots out there. Wiki not playing today. Price on the sideline. Just short of halfway. Torpy here looking to milk it. Ravelli goes to Falmoina with the step. And he's shut down. Here comes the lunge. Nathan Thiem with the kick. Finds some open pasture once more. And look at this. He's trapped, collared. Utah, talk about fixing him up. What were they doing?
Talk about a show of strength when you just extend your upper body and then someone just hanging around your shoulders, you just flip him over. Missy Kalapapa, go for a ride.
And Tony Martin, talk about free fall.
Gymnastic at its best. It was Tony Martin up in the air, courtesy of the torso. Utah himself, there's Mason. Well, they'll need to rotate their troops regularly now, as O'Mealy's on the bench having a spell for an infringement around the ruck. Matty Utah, never short of a muscle, that man, ball of it.
And when you're one down, so important now that your defensive game even tightens up and becomes a lot more stronger, a lot more effective. Restrict the offloads, restrict the opportunities for the Warriors to have you running from left and right and all over. Asatasi hits it up.
And we'll go downstairs straight away. Stephen, you've got some big news.
Left shoulder problem for Steve Price at the moment. They're not willing to concede that he's out for the rest of the match. They've got the ice pack on the top of the left shoulder. He's trying to get movement back and he's raising that left arm up and down, but confirmed left shoulder, not willing to make a commitment right now.
Okay, thank you for that as Andrew Ryan crawls towards the try line. Corey Hughes with a nice little dab into the in goal again. It's safety first from the Warriors.
Well read, Missy Kalapapa defensively hasn't put a foot wrong. Stephen Price, not a happy camper at the moment. We saw on Friday night also in the Penrith Shark game the disappointment of the number of props that are all sort of staking last-minute claims. Be part of representative season, which kicks off next Friday.
He's nursing that clavicle of his there, Stephen, that's for sure.
It was good to get confirmation that it is in fact the shoulder. Owen Gutenberg rips into Awatas, along with a bit of assistance by Michael Luck.
Guys, we had poor ball control in the first half. Could get worse. I think the rain's coming.
Yes, perhaps not too far away. Quick points will be handy points. Utah struggling to get up, play the football as they go across now to Mason, who has just come back into the battle. Moran it was who went to the bench. Corey Hughes, well, just for a minute I thought it was going to open up. Warriors camped on that goal line. Grimaldi. Holsworth kicking for Utah. They'll get it back, the Dogs. 6 more. Talapapa has had a shocker. More pressure coming up here on the locals. Tonga. Ryan. Roberts back to Azatazi. Storming towards the goal line. Holsworth holding up the pass. Patton up from fullback. Here's the overlap. Surely 4 points coming up here. Al Masri goes hard and low and gets 4 points. And the Dogs kick clear. They regain the lead. The boss is happy. So too their fans who've made the trip across the Tasman.
They've had every opportunity to set up for a try with the repeat set of 6 that have come at this end of the football field. And as the rain comes down, looks like they get across the stripe with Hazem El Masri, and he's no stranger there. I thought Sonny Bill had overread the play and come through too early, but they've set it up well. Roberts was used in the play before, dropping Asatasi off up the middle, and then they come wide. The kick previously from Holsworth, well, Talapapa gives them the set of 6 again, as Utah didn't even compete, and here, this is where they set it up. Sonny Bill will come through there. I thought he got on the road, but Patton did enough. And then out wide, well, an easy step. And just right there, Brent Webb put his foot where I thought El Masri might have put his football on his foot, but he has grounded the ball. And I'm out of breath, Peter, so you have a crack.
And that's a perfect example of perhaps focusing too much on one player. So much attention devoted to Sonny Bill Williams. Yes, he overrun it. He got a little tangled up, but all of a sudden you had a defensive line that were just focusing at him coming through. Found themselves on the back foot. And then Patton able to get on the outside with a bit of pace to find the trying form of El Masri.
El Masri, 7 games this year, 7 tries. And that's without talking about his efforts off the tee.
And also, let's not forget, down to 12. So there was certainly enough numbers in the Warriors defensive line to be able to combat whatever was thrown at them. So good work on the back of a repeat. Talapapa coming up with a mistake, allowing them to regroup.
Well, Masri was practicing from this exact spot just before the game.
With a friend. The doctor, Hugh Hazard. Well, the doctor's done wonders. Put it down to the doctor. Not that he needs help. Never looked like missing. They lead by 6, the Dogs. It's 22-16.
A nice sign in the grandstand saw at half-time. No luck. It's all magic.
24 minutes to go. Fiend with the restart. And just a few heart flutters there for the Dogs. Just over 2.5 to go for Mark O'Mealy in the sin bin.
That's John Hart, not in the sin bin, by the way.
Not this time anyway. Here's Mason.
But the Bulldog camp, they'll be feeling good at the moment. They got the try just before the half-time. Certainly gave them a little bit of a buffer. And then to come up with a 4-pointer when they're down to 12. Asatasi, he's been strong in the middle of the football field today.
Good footwork for a big man.
Take note, Kiwi selectors. Here's the kick. Byrne. He says, forget about the bounce, I'll take the catch.
Well, we know Roy Asatasi's in the side. Stephen Folks on the Bulldog website congratulated him and Sonny Bill. Confirm it, DJ.
Important for this Kiwi, for this Warrior side, should I say, Peter, to get to their kick in the set of 6. After making errors and handing the ball They just need to find a kick and find a long one. Find some field position and come back down this other end of the football field.
They're finding that field position now. They've got to find an adjustment in the game, and they get the penalty, which is going to help get some territory. But they've got no Ruben Wiki. They've got no Stephen Price. It's all about Ivan Tumivavi. But right now, I'd suggest look for the acting half. Look for the little men to get some speed, get some feet moving. Luck trying to get it forward, and this is where the penalty came, just holding him down. And look for a strong kicking game, short and long, out of Nathan Bean.
Bean's got it. And now Webb. Light rain starting to fall here at ERICSSON. We did expect a shower or two at the back end of the game. Sunny skies to get us underway today, but it has changed considerably with plenty of clock left in this. A converted try is the margin, 4 tries to 2. Fiend, Webb combining. They miss out Mannering, no obstruction. Slow motion football all of a sudden. Now Tony Martin gets us back onto some sort of level course here. On the 20-metre line or thereabouts of the Dogs. Louis Anderson hits it up and he takes the tackle. 10 metres out. They go the open side. Gaddis, who's just come back onto the park. Webb's got it. Webb promoting the football to nobody. Mannering was there. Now they stack the blind side with Tony Martin. They've lost it. They were close, but no cigar.
I've liked the look of Ropati attacking the right-hand side. This time he decides to pass as Martin gets, within a whisker of scoring another try. Ropati on the inside. He's been good down this edge. However, the problem was this. It was the first time they visited this end, and a repeat set of 6 would have been equally as good an option as going close. In fact, a better option.
Well, that's a disappointment, finishing that set of 6 the way it did. It's exactly that when you've got numbers and you're finding it difficult to unlock the door. The Bulldog defence, so that's exactly what they wanted as well.
O'Mealy's back as well.
Well, this is intelligent play here from Sonny Bill Williams. Extended game time will help his cause, help his confidence.
Well, it's a good sign for the Kiwi side that Sonny Bill continues to play long minutes in the game. They've introduced him back over the last 3 weeks. Some 25 minutes in his first go, up to, well, nearly 52 minutes last week. So good long spells of football is what's required with a test match looming.
Peter, why are you looking at me like a diseased rice pudding?
Well, you know the answer to that. Here we go again, the Bulldogs are on.
I think Peter wasn't happy with the play of the ball, suggesting that Sonny Bill should have got to his feet. Anyway, we'll stick with the action. Roberts turns it back on the inside. Here goes Mason. Is he a man mountain or what?
Well, he was charged up when they returned to the field at half-time. He was vocal. He was loud. He was imploring them to come on. O'Mealy's responded well.
He says, bring it on. He loves this. Former wood chopper. So his boys are watching. Dad's doing you proud. The Dogs now with Ryan. Workaholic back rower. International, one of many in this Canterbury side. Now, they work the blind side, but Utai couldn't do anything. Talapapa stuck to his guns.
Yes, they tested Talapapa out. And not a test you'd often see. Short side straight to the winger from the play the ball. And Utai, well, he'd done all the work before catching the football. Catching football first, it was right in the breadbasket. I'll take my hat off to Talapapa. He actually moved up off the line. And Torpy away.
Just for a moment, will they come in numbers as we move into the final quarter of this one? Trust you're enjoying the telecast here from the city of Sales, wherever you may be watching. Mannering's got it, but not for long. He coughs it up in his first appearance in the big time this season. And the Dogs now, 5 metres. Warriors side up halfway, and they lead by 6. O'Mealy, some body contact once more. Grimaldi.
It's good play here by the Bulldogs. Just being quite content to just keep it simple up in the middle of the football field. Looking for the big carries, and if the offload comes, well, they'll take it. But they're still down to 12. Simple, simplicity. That's the key for them at the moment.
Well, no Wiki, no Price, no prizes for guessing where the Dogs are attacking the Warriors. Straight up Main Street, but there is a problem right now for the visitors.
You watch this hit. Louis Anderson cleans up Grimaldi as he goes to ground. Grimaldi will duck out of dummy half, some good footwork. Luck will go low, and then Louis Anderson comes across and pops him. Well, it might be more knees in the back or his body in the back. It might be an elbow there somewhere close to around the clavicle area, a bit above Peter.
We're not going there again, sure.
I guess we're just going to be a little careful when we're talking about a possible name that could come up this afternoon as well, DJ Selector.
Well, after he's finished...
But he clocked him square with the elbow.
After he's finished picking this team, he is off to English lessons. The Lobster, that's what they call him, Tony Grimaldi. He's taken a couple today. Larry Britton going to work, the long-serving Canterbury trainer.
Yes, the ability to change your speech halfway through the sentence. Very powerful. But of course, it's on report. Going down in the tackle hasn't helped, for sure. Tony Grimaldi, we hope as well.
Well, they're going to have a shot here, and this is significant. Clock is ticking. This will push it out to 2 converted tries. And I'll be looking for someone to back Hazem El Masri up from here.
And this one, nothing doing. Yes, he gets him around the head, but you've got to recognise an offensive player going to ground at the same time as well. We saw one with Nigel Barginer as well on Friday night, exactly the same. Boy, with the ball in hand, going to ground. There's not much more that can happen.
Well, the man on screen, I said at the top of the show here today, he was the difference last time they came to town. And perhaps again proving a thorn in the side for the Warriors. Here he goes, 22 out from goal. No worries. He slots it once more. The bench is happy. Their fans would be happy because they lead by 8. 24 play 16 as the rain comes again.
And that's the significance of that conversion. 1, they do it with 12, and 2, they push it out where they now need to score twice, the Warriors, if they're to get in front.
"17 minutes to go. Off the boot of Fiend. An awkward bounce here for the Dogs. Patton, no stranger, putting his body on the line. Azatazi now, he tucks it under and hits it up. And a good carry, excellent carry.
Nothing less all afternoon from Roy Asatasi.
It's been all quality. And it has plenty of family and friends in the crowd here today.
A lot of good support coming from the likes of Willie Mason and Mark O'Mealy as well. 3-prong attack, Willie, and certainly been effective.
O'Mealy. You look at the enthusiasm and passion they've shown today. It's, well, completely the opposite to what we saw in their game against Manly last week. Chalk and cheese.
The application around the forward pack today, both in attack and defence, has been superb. They've just been willing to put the ball under their arms and just charge into it in the right areas of the field. It hasn't been perfect, plenty of mistakes, but yeah, the Bulldogs, they have been strong in that department for sure.
Damawina plays it back. Gaddis says we'll go the blind side. Here's Byrne coming in off the wing to help out. They miss out Luck. They go to Fiend. Warriors now getting it up towards halfway. Tumavavi plays it back. Gaddis now surveying his options. Puts the head down. Former Cowboy making some inroads. Here comes the last. Fiend bombs away once more. Wow, it's out on the full. Disappointing end of that set, and he knows it.
Well, it just shows the significance when the absence of not only Ruben Wecke, but Stephen Price.
How to pull a hammy by Todd Byrne.
Yes, but what they need more so than anything right now is how to get some metres around the centre of the ruck. And that's about how you just put the ball under the arm and do exactly what the Bulldogs are doing back to you on the other end. Roy Asatasi, this is how it goes forward.
15 minutes to go. The Dogs with the upper hand, although passes like that will cause concern for coach Stephen Folkes. Sonny Bill Williams, is he a handful or what? He's laughing at it. Why wouldn't you?
And he's yet to play good football.
Here's a good sign. Stephen Price starting to warm up on the sideline, lads.
Well, that's a great sign, certainly for rugby league, not just the Warriors, but possibly Kangaroos. Stay tuned for that as well. Of course, we repeat the 2 test teams to be named this evening. Trans-Tasman battle next Friday night at Sunnyport. Back at the Cauldron. How good will that be? the last for the Bulldogs. Holsworth, the kick across field, has been caught by Todd Byrne. How much pace has he got today? He crosses halfway, he darts back in field, he has support, Brent Webb's away, he beats one, he almost beats a second. Oh, tremendous stuff. It's still on here if they're good enough. Thiem, Falmawina, bumping run, looking for a double. That's the try line you can see, and the bench, they are animated. This game is far from over. Thiem, Corpu, here he goes in reverse. There's the penalty. Offside. Offside is the call. Gavin Badger played advantage. There was none.
Yes, and it doesn't need us to tell Brett Webb that it was Mark O'Mealy chasing him. We'll leave it to the players.
We'll talk about it post-match, regardless of the result. Here's Luck. Gaddis. Gaddis. He chews up another tackle. Testing time here for the Dogs. Thiem crabbing across field. Falmawina. They're going backwards. Back to the 20 just for the record. Row Party. He gets the compass right. He flicks it out the back door. Anderson. Here we go. Is this the Warriors of old? Tony Martin now. He's chopped down. Second effort perhaps from Roberts. Play on's the call. Corpu. Luck. Corpu. Tuamavavi. 5 metres out. There's a chance if they swing it to the left. That's exactly where they go. Thiem, Falmawina, Webb, big loopy pass out wide. Look at this, it's almost as if it's Oztag. Touch, you call it what you like. Thiem's got it. He probes for a hole. There is nothing for him.
All you need is one coming from depth.
Speaking of one, it's the last tackle play coming up here. There's a little kick in behind the line from Row Party. It's too deep. And the pressure valve has been released for the Bulldogs.
They did well to regather their shape. This was the kick, and they've done this before. We saw Talapapa drop one early on, which gave them a set of 6, and this time Skinny Byrne picks it up, and off he goes. Patton's coming across, and will make him chop in and go back inside, and then the big fella O'Mealy will chase Webby. He wouldn't have got him, Peter, for Webby's defence. And from there, the Warriors, they get a repeat set of 6 when Willie Mason was offside, but they couldn't close it out. What was wrong with Corpu running a good angle or getting them going forward again? They started playing touch, and that was their downfall.
Took a while for the tap restart. You can't blame the players. They would have been running on E just about, but not Matt Utai. Here he goes, takes on Webb. Webb made sure of it.
Webb makes sure of Utai. But now that one eye starts to look at the scoreboard, 11 minutes remaining. It's starting to clock down. The Bulldogs, another try at their necks. They could very well have a game in hand.
Last tackle play coming up for the visitors. And look at this for a tactic, if you like, to chew up the clock, to close it out. They do, after all, lead by 8 with 11 minutes remaining.
Let's not lose sight of the fact that they've just done exceptionally well down the other end, being able to regroup, find their shape defensively. Well, that's a smart play. Let's catch our breath and let's reset.
It is a smart play as well, because they desperately needed that after defending. Now they'll sweat on an error. But the Warriors down the other end of the field, when we talk about the Bulldogs go forward today, that's what the Warriors needed to do. It allows your halves to know where everyone are on the field. When the Warriors got down the end of the field for that kill blow they couldn't land, they had 3 or 4 guys trying to play halfback. They just needed forwards running forward and letting the halves dictate the play.
Gaddis. Warriors. Well aware they need to score twice here in the final 10 minutes to steal 2 points. They led in the first 8 minutes, but after that, it's been the Dogs all the way. Although the scoreboard was squared up at one stage. Corpu, he can't penetrate the line. He gets to halfway though, and the last has been signalled. Thiem's, well, it was a shocking pass. Knockback's the call, play on's the call. That pass was flat, maybe forward. Play on again is the call. And the Dogs have got it after all that, with Patton going straight up the middle and 10 metres, Warriors side of halfway. You get the impression the Dogs are about to go in for the kill, but not quite, because a pass like that just leaves the door ajar.
Mark O'Mealy on the inside just wasn't quick enough. Fiend come up with the pill. And the Warriors, well, she's not over this game. The Dogs are inviting them back into it, even though it might not be orthodox. The Warriors, they continue to go at it.
Got a pretty good record against the Warriors, the Dogs. They've won 4 of their last 5 against the men from Auckland. You would think they've done enough here. However, perhaps we speak too soon. Roberts has to retreat. On debut today. And they will kick for touch off the boot of Fiend. Gaddis with the tap restart. He hands it on to Anderson. The try here on this set would make things very interesting, to say the least. Tilmavavi, who plays it back. Gaddis. Luck, the Cowboy connection. One to another. He takes the tackle. Gaddis goes the blind side. Rotating. Here we go. Try in the corner. No, a juggle. Torpy. There. Well, they were queuing up. And now a penalty just to compound matters for the Warriors. Clinton Torpy. Dear, oh dear.
Well done, the Bulldogs. We just saw pictures there of Luke Patton just reminding his troops just to settle down, stay calm. It was on. Clinton Torpy just juggling for the ball. And then the last minute play. But the Dogs again defensively, that's been their strength this afternoon, to be able to repel whatever's come their way. Interesting, it was pre-match, it was Luke Patton that talked about their form coming into this game. It was all about history, forget about it. That was last week, today's about now, and they've responded exactly as so.
Such a hot and cold performer, isn't he, Clinton Torpy? The good times with the bad. You remember the good. 3 tries in 2003, need I remind you, against the Kangaroos. That was at North Harbour. When he's hot, he is sizzling. When he's cold.
But it's players like Clinton Torpy that you'll look to if you're going to get out of this one today.
Big moment coming up for Stephen Price. A lot of people were holding their breath when he left the field in agony. But he is back up and about.
Willie Mason's been strong today. In a game where there's been plenty of offloads, and he's had plenty of chances to offload as well. He's been happy to just stand up and play the ball. That's how you play yourself into some form.
Well, I think he's been happy to stand up, full stop. He certainly has done that and more here today, and he's had some friends. Here's Webb. Boom! Bang down, leading the charge was Andrew Ryan, and Roberts was up there in his face as well.
Well, when you talk about playing yourself back into form, it's often about going back to simple stuff. And that's exactly what the Dogs have done today.
Less than 7 to go. Falmawina. Price says, follow me. Relieving Louis Anderson. Here's Michael Luck. Here comes the Lux. Fiend. This time he gets it right. No one's at home. No one. Patton was up in the line. Somehow he quickly gets back to help out Al Masri. And Patton goes to ground, 15 out from his own line.
Well, Fiend kicked that from inside the 40. He was looking for a 40-20. The option was good. Didn't get it quite close enough to the sideline. And the Dogs have brought it right across the left-hand side from where the ball bounced, and will attack the Warriors down here through Utah.
Well, Peter, you speak about Torpy being a game breaker. Guess what? He's off. Here's O'Mealy. He beats one with consummate ease, I might add.
It's actually Moran. Looks exactly like O'Mealy, just a smaller version of the Shrek, Brad Moran.
Yes, there was a change in jersey numbers today. Moran just the one appearance this season before today. Here's a kick for touch.
Talapapa hasn't played it, that, and Roberts plays like an experienced player. Sends it over the sideline to to count the clock down. Talapapa had it right there. It wasn't a difficult one. He just shouted it out over the sideline in the end. Should have had a crack at it. You've only got 5 minutes left and you're down by 8.
Well, it's going to be an interesting afternoon with the Kangaroos side to be announced. There's no doubting there's been some solid performance by the Bulldogs this afternoon. Mason O'Neilly.
Oh, that's nasty. That's not on. Willie Tonga is a good sport. He's effectively put his hand up here. And it goes on report, and I'm sure the Australian selectors will have, well, some thoughts going through their minds right now too.
Difficult one, these ones, aren't they? You sort of lose control of the player halfway through what you're doing.
Well, to his credit, Ravelli was quick on his feet, Darryl. The timepiece has become an enemy for the Warriors. Price says, let's forget about that. That's tackle 2, and they are 30 metres out from their objective. Feen running the football. Here's Korpu. It was a handy combination in the first half. Gaddis, flat ball for Feen. Back for Ravelli. It's been propelled forward. Dogs have got it. And you would think now that the flame, well, it may well flicker, but you can just about believe that the extinguishers are about to be applied here by the Bulldogs. Phelps, he offloads back to Luke Patton. Patton, he goes to ground. 6 short of half one. Mason, among their best today, with a very handy contribution. Utai, can he break tackles or what?
Simple runs from dummy half, the answer. And then they'll find the sideline or try to again, one would imagine.
Phelps. Cameron Phelps goes to ground. 15 out. They go the blind side. Holsworth, Sonny Bill, and here we go. The final nail in the coffin will be supplied by Hazam Al Masri. And it is game, set, and match at ERICSSON. The Dogs will win this one, and they'll win it in style. Al Masri grabs a double, and it's 28-16.
We thought he'd have a field day playing outside Sonny Bill Williams. And the final touches are put on here, and it's pretty simple. The defence is in 2 minds. Ropati's up and Burner's back. Sonny Bill's too good for that. He can beat defences which are flat or staggered. This time he'll get the ball and do a little bit of damage. When shall I pass? Just then, Ropati comes across late and has him all magic. Too much footwork. He lets some more points. Not as if he needs them, he's got enough.
He's a machine. Seems like only yesterday, Darryl, he was your deputy.
Oh, he's done a lot of work over the years, has an El Masri, and take your hat off to him. He's accomplished, the best goal kicker in the NRL. But some others chasing pretty hard, but he tends to stand himself out week in, week out. Interested in his kicking style, he's very, very acute on the ball. Most attack from about 45 degrees on the angle. He comes from about 70, which means he pivots hard on his left leg. So there's some goal kicking tips for you.
Take note. Hazam does. Another 2 in the bank. And look at this. They will sleep well tonight, the Bulldogs.
That is Aussie Fred.
Freddie Sorreldo, popular figure in the backroom staff in Canterbury. Almost full time here. It's the Dogs at 30 points to 16. He loved the plug. Well, it's purely academic now, of course. Knock on or not. And we will have a scrum here. 14-point ball game in the dying stages. I suppose. Yeah, look at that. Talk about the ERICSSON shuffle. Well, at least they turned up here today. They had no competition. Pavarotti wasn't in town. The V8s, no rugby, so they should turn up.
See a picture of Stephen Folkes there, the Bulldogs coach. He'll be happy with this after a few, or I should say ordinary weeks, getting a few more grey hairs. Had breakfast with him this morning. Missing his wife, Karen.
Here's Ropati looking for a consolation try. Nothing more, nothing less, as we look forward to next week for the Dogs at least. They've got the Roosters. That's at Aussie Stadium on the Sunday, keeping in mind some of their players will probably be backing up from the Friday night test match. There he is, a man who certainly knows all about test football. One of the dogs of war, Stephen Folkes. He'll be looking to deny the Warriors here. What is happening here? He's moved off the mark. Tuamavavi.
Walked off the mark.
Yeah, look, there's the confirmation. Fair enough.
It is. And we've seen this move come a little bit in the last few weeks, a little bit of Greco wrestling from the big man in Mason again as well. Ability to pick players up, and that man there, Tuamavavi, none heavier, be well over 110, 112 kilo. And he's had to answer the call today, Mason. He's done it very, very well. He'll be happy. My man of the match.
Only a couple of plays left in this one. It's a 4-point game for the Warriors. Of course, they have the bye next week. But they have 0 to show for their efforts here this afternoon in round 8 of the Telstra Premiership. The Dogs, they consolidate their place in the top 8 and they make it 3 consecutive wins here at this venue. And largely thanks to that man, 5 goals, 2 tries, Hazem Al Masri leading the way. Full time at ERICSSON, the Dogs, they get the chocolates, they defeat the Warriors 30 points to 16. Warriors, they did lead 2-0 in the opening minutes off the boot of Tony Martin, but by half-time they were struggling. They did stage a recovery in the second half. Falmawina got the try to get them going, but Sonny Bill Williams among the heroes here for the Bulldogs this afternoon.
Nice to see him get through the game unscathed as well, which means he'll head to the test match on Friday up in Brisbane at Suncorp Stadium.
Speaking of the test match, the Trans-Tasman battle, Willie Mason, we'd expect him to play. He is sidelined right now as we speak with Stephen.
Willie, you love these encounters, don't you?
Yeah, mate, we always knew, you know, the Warriors at ERICSSON on a Sunday is always hard, physical game, and we had a hell of a lot to make up from last week. We were embarrassed, and it was good that we come out today and showed a bit of character. We played tough and we won.
Test selection play in your mind today?
Not really, mate. Just, you know, if I do the job for the Bulldogs, which comes first, and then, you know, if we're going good, then test selection is just a bonus. So, you know, fingers crossed I'm there, but if not, I'll just keep playing hard.
Mate, if you ramped up today, you'd be ramped up for Friday, wouldn't you?
Yeah, for sure, mate. Everyone who played in that test Tri-Nations final is pretty pumped to get back out there and get some redemption. So, fingers crossed. Looking forward to it.
Good luck, mate. And I think Pete's got Sonny Bill, who you might face on the other side.
Sonny, it's obviously good to get through 80 minutes of footy.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. You know, even though I was out in the centres, it was good to be out on the paddock for a bit longer.
In the second half, the Bulldogs responded down to 12.
Yeah, man. We there was a tough time in the second half. You know, all the forwards stuck together. You know, Mace, Roy, all led the boys. So you know, we just followed and played off the back of that.
You talk about the forwards, Roy Asatasi. You got to expect his name to come out tonight.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know, he's last couple of years he's just grown. You know, and he's got more confidence in his game, and you know, it just shows out on the footy field.
And to get 80 minutes of football before you play a test match, got to be good.
I hope you get picked, man.
Good on you.
I think he's a safe bet just quietly. Let's have a look at the score summary here after 80 minutes. The Warriors, they posted 2 tries. Korpu and Falmawina did the honours. Tony Martin, 4 from 4. The Dogs, well, they crossed 5 times. Al Masri, the double. Holsworth, Asatasi and Tonga also getting across the stripe. Al Masri, 5 from 6 here today. Stick with us. We will crunch the numbers and do a little more on the other side of this on NRL Sunday from Auckland.
Tonight at 7, it's time for the next round of MotoGP. Live from Istanbul, tune in for all the action from the 125s, 250s and Premier Class. Can Valentino Rossi maintain his winning ways this time around?
It's going to be mighty, mighty close.
The MotoGP from Istanbul, tonight at 7, live on Fox Sports 1.
The biggest names in world golf go head-to-head on the toughest series on earth, the US PGA Tour. The Classic of New Orleans, final round tomorrow morning at 5, Fox Sports 1. Monday nights, exclusive to Fox Sports. The most comprehensive roundup of all the weekend's Premier League action in the highlight show. Find out how your team fared and see every goal from every game.
There is no substitute for class. Oh my goodness! Normal service is resumed.
The only place you'll see the highlight show is on Fox Sports. Monday night at 6 and 9:30.
8 out of 10 women believe that the first kiss will tell them everything that they need to know. The secret is to go 90% of the way and hold. Now show me the magic. Show me the magic. What the hell was that? I'm showing you the magic. No, I said come 90, then I come 10. You don't go the whole 100. You overzealous son of a...
Kitch commences Sunday, May 28 on Showtime.
Thursday nights at 8:30, catch Inside Rugby. Join Greg Clark and the team as they take a comprehensive look at the world of rugby.
Sorry to all the mums that live watching at home, but no one got hurt in that fight.
Even though we like to play sport and we get out for a good time, you can't have too much of a good time.
Plus our regular segments, Chalkboard with Rod Caper, where he dissects what teams are getting right and wrong, and we cross the ditch to chat about rugby NZ style.
And we've got the big grudge match coming up here this weekend.
Inside Rugby Thursday nights at 8:30 on Fox Sports 1.
Dogs are barking, Daryl. They were muzzled last week. Different story here today in Auckland.
After a few years of controversy off the field, it's nice to see plenty of dog supporters here still in Auckland, but they were too busy up the middle today for the Warriors, and too big. Mason O'Mealy, they just put hammer and tong, tucked the ball like that under the arm, and were quite happy to go forward, and that was the difference.
Well, speaking of old dogs now, Stephen Price does come to mind. Up against his old club for the first time here today. He did suffer an injury, of course. He is sidelined with Stephen.
Steve, first things first, what's up with the shoulder?
Yeah, just stretched some nerves in my shoulder, so there's a bit of a burner, but the doctor said I'll be fine, so that's why I was able to get back out there.
Mate, you looked distraught. Were you thinking about test selection at that stage?
No, that was the last thing I was thinking about, but it was quite painful, but, you know, it came around after a bit of ice and the doctor got into it a bit, so it's all fine now.
Ball control pretty average at times today.
Yeah, it cost us, mate. You know, we come up with some crucial areas at the wrong part of the field and just gave the Bulldogs too much easy ball down our end, and they capitalised on most of those times.
We get a week off, you get the 2 points, so let's talk about the test. You're thinking about test selection?
Oh, mate, I'd love to be there, but, you know, it's out of my hands now. Disappointing today. I wasn't able to play a bit more and make more of an impact, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully I've made them happy enough with what I've done, but who knows?
All right, go look after that shoulder.
Thanks, mate.
Yes, absolutely. Wrap him in cotton wool tonight. Chook, you are a Kiwi selector, of course. Let's put a green and gold hat on you. Would he make the Australian side if you were involved?
Well, look, I'm sure his name would have been thrown around, but there's plenty of good front rows going around. Australian selector don't really want their job, Costo, so I'm quite happy, and I'd rather cast an eye over the New Zealand guys. Thanks very much.
All right, OK. I'm sure Peter's in the same boat. Peter, row party is standing by right now with Wairangi Korpu.
Wait, coming into the match with no front rowers on the bench, what was happening there?
Oh, you know, mate, we got a few injuries. We got Roos pulled out the day before the game. You know, it turned out we had a few go down during the game as well. And anyway, we had sufficient boys to fill in there, but you know, in the end of the day, you know, sort of maybe a little bit of size let us down.
Errors are a hard thing to combat if you do them at the wrong end.
Especially early in the game, you know. So when that first 20 minutes, we just let them have too much ball and we had to tackle too much, and you know, that sort of cost us in the last 20 minutes.
Well, coming into the half, it could have been either way, but you were denied. The Bulldogs got that one just before halftime. That hurt.
Yeah, that hurt a lot. I mean, there was a few inches in it, and you know, it would have been great if we had turned them away in that last couple of minutes. But you know, that could have been a turning point for us, but it wasn't to be. You know, those are some things we have to combat, and that's pretty much football, brother.
When they were down to 12, you lost Stephen Price. Who took over then?
Well, I think it was Simon Mannering. I'm not too sure. We had people all over the place, mate. But you know, the boys did a good job. They stuck in there as much as they could. You know, we have to be ready for those sort of things, and we train for them now and again. But yeah, it's a little bit rattling. But you know, we're professionals and we have to get on with it.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, brother.
OK, let's crunch the numbers. 30-16 at the final hooter. Enough possession for the Dogs, certainly to win, but, well, they had to work for it, Chook.
It certainly did. And penalties played a part in this game too, as we see O'Mealy was being sin bin, and that affected the flow of the match. But the errors in this game, they're the ones that you want to have a look at. 10-13, and it doesn't tell you those stats where exactly on the field they occurred and also at what time of the game. But they were crucial in their own end. The Warriors, they made some errors.
Okay, well, we're just about done upstairs here, and of course, Stephen, we look forward to the test match in Brisbane at the Cauldron, my favourite place, next Friday night.
Yes, we are looking forward to it coming into your part of the world, Costo, because we know you're such a great host. And we are looking forward to our prime time on Thursday night, and of course, build up on Sky Sport 3 from 8:30 on Friday night. But today we're going to think about the Warriors and their inability, Pete, again to put 2 in a row. And in this case, they were up against a pack that really came to play today and get rid of last week's demons.
Well, there was always going to be a ground war, and it was going to happen in the middle of the football field. It was quite clear on the back of the performance last week against Manly. You know, the Bulldogs were at all sorts. You know, they were in trouble. So they need to go back to simple stuff. And they did exactly that. The big three, Willie Mason, Marco Mealy, Roy Asatasi, they just led the way. They crunched the yards down the middle of the football field, and everybody else was able to feed off the back of it. When you look at those stats, we saw 3 dropouts suggesting that they were able to build some pressure. They were able to finish their sets on a high note, and they also capitalised on too many errors committed at the wrong end by the Warriors.
And Pete, just briefly, the Warriors' inability to get inside the opposition 10 again and convert was quite evident when they got the breakaway.
Well, they fell into a passage of play where it all became about too much lateral movement, going backwards and forwards. If you look for an opportunity or look for an example of what to do right, it was a Wairangi off Nathan Feen try. That was outstanding. Not enough of it, though.
All right, we're done here. The Dogs get the numbers today. The Warriors get the week off and the bye and the 2 points. And we are thinking now about the Sea Eagles and the Eels at 5 o'clock on Sky Sport 1, followed on full time at 7:30 on Sky Sport 2 with exclusive Kiwi squad announcement. We'll see you then.